This is King Noble, Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about how whites in South Africa need to get their ass out of town by sundown. They need to get their ass out of town by sundown. Now, recently, there's been a change of politics in South Africa. They're doing some type of land reform where they're expropriating the land from white people and redistributing it to black South Africans. And they're doing it without compensation to whites because they stole the land and it does not belong to them. They took it and they never compensated black South Africans for it when they stole it. South Africa belongs to the black man. They was there before the European settlers got over there and decided to set up their little colonies. Black South Africans are the original and indigenous inhabitants of South Africa. And the land belongs to them. It is their right that they prosper in their own lands among themselves without invasion or interception or being usurped by whites. So these whites need to get their ass out of town by sundown. I don't feel sorry for them. It's about time that Africans, the black man in the world, steps up and reclaim his shit from these goddamn devils. It's time. I would hope that all African nations and all African countries on the continent and abroad will stand up and reclaim what is theirs, reclaim their land, take back what is theirs, put these whites in check, and put them in their goddamn place. I hope that the rest of Africa, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Ghana, Libya, Nigeria, everywhere, every single country on that continent, take notes and follow suit with what's going on in South Africa. Whites need to get their ass out of town by sundown, out of Africa altogether. Give us back our shit that you stole. What kills me though about these white South Africans is that they're so clueless. They don't want to give back what they stole. They want to be compensated. It's simple. You took it and now it's being reclaimed. You are a receiver and you possess stolen goods that must be returned to the original owner, the black South African people. I'm in 1,000,000,000% support of it. And if they want to resist and fight and act like they don't want to go along with this land reform and they don't want to give up the land, then lay all their ass down. Bow down or lay the fuck down. And that's the type of rulership that we need in Africa. That's the type of black rulership we need in America. That's the type of black rulership we need in the UK, in South America. Everywhere the original black man is at, it's time for him to step up and learn from this. Pay attention to what's going on and be motivated and be inspired to reclaim what is yours, what is rightfully yours. These white people have got out of control. They have got out of hand that they want to try to control every square foot of the planet Earth. There's not a place for an original African person to stand. They want to control everything. And they're generally come lately on this planet. And everywhere they at, they done migrated to it. They have nowhere really to call home. But they want to control everything and micromanage everything and make up the rules and regulations for everything. And where they not making it up, they didn't got some coons who want to replicate and imitate their systems and structures, so the coons will do it for them. But they want to make sure that everything is micromanaged and everything is under their control, and that they benefit and prosper off of everything going on in the world. And we just stand by and let it happen. passively. We don't want to put our foot down. We don't want to step up to this cracker. That's why I'm so proud of Malema over there in South Africa. I'm so proud of the new president of South Africa having the kahunas and the balls to step up and make this definitive decision to do what's right and what's just by the black African people of South Africa. The indigenous people in the United States of America need to follow suit. All indigenous people within the United States need to unify, form an indigenous people's union in America, and take back the land in America. Because they migrated over here too, and this shit don't belong to them. America doesn't belong to the white man, to the European. He took this land over. He migrated over here and killed the ancestors and forefathers, the true forefathers of this land. He murdered them, the natives, the Moors, the Maroons, the native tribes. He murdered them and took the land, and then claimed that he's the boss, put up his flag, and took it over. And now he's telling the descendants of those immigrants how to live, what to do, where they can go, where they can't go, where they need an ID, how to immigrate, how not to immigrate. But he stole the land that doesn't belong to him. We have allowed this cracker to go too far and to get away with too goddamn much without us standing up and doing something about it. Dealing with immigration now with the Mexicans. Well, California used to be Mexico. We know that. All that was Mexico. New Mexico. Las Vegas, all that area, all up in there was Mexico. Nevada, that was all Mexico. And you took their land and you ran them up out of there. And then you said it's your land, and now you as a thief, you as a home invader, you as a fraudulent real estate practitioner is now telling them when they can come back on the land. The immigrant is now turning the true indigenous person into an illegal alien. That's what's going on in America. Now the white man is telling you that you can't be on this land, that you need permission from him to come back. If not, you're an illegal alien. That's what he was going to do in South Africa if they hadn't stood up, if they hadn't stepped to him and told him that, look, we taking our shit back. That's what was going to happen. Eventually, they was going to turn the indigenous South African people, the Zulu kings, the Zulus, they was going to turn them into illegal immigrants in their own land. Listen to me. Just like they did to the Native Americans and the Moors and the indigenous people of America. So now the indigenous people of America need to form a union so that the land can be expropriated from whites in America without compensation and redistributed among the indigenous people in America for the benefit of indigenous people and not the 1%, not the white elite, not the white globalists, not the rich white pigs and hogs that just sit back while the world suffers in poverty and starvation and lack, and they just eat good and just suppress everyone else and just hold all the wealth to themselves. That needs to happen in America. We need to step up because the white man is getting out of control. So I'm just so happy to see him being checked anywhere in the world today, because he's been trying to destabilize African governments and African countries in order to maintain his stronghold over their resources, over their economy, and over their land. He's been playing tricks with African leaderships, with African revolutionaries. See, that's why Mugabe is not in power anymore, because he's playing tricks to get the real black revolutionaries out of office, to get the real people that reject white supremacy, that reject white imperialism, that reject the colonizers. He's been playing tricks, politics, to get them out of office, because he know when the real black men step up and get into position that his rulership is over with. He knows that. So I'm so proud of South Africa, man. Get their ass out of town by sundown. Get these crackers the fuck out of there, man. Have no mercy on these motherfuckers. If they want to stand up and act like they proud of possessing stolen merchandise, They're proud of possessing stolen goods. If they want to stand up and act like they're proud of that, mow their ass goddamn down. They are fucking criminals. See, the white man has made being a criminal legitimate. He's made the true, just, and self-righteous being on the planet, which is the original black man on planet Earth, he's made that something evil. He's criminalized us, racially profiled us, stereotyped us, given us a negative overtone, put a negative narrative on us, and he, the real criminal, has made himself look legitimate. He can legitimately take your shit and legitimately rule and dominate over what doesn't even rightfully belong to him. He is the real criminal. And he's made criminality the new culture. And he's made the righteous, the true righteous, the true original people of the earth, he's made us look evil and bad for whatever it is we're trying to do. It's breaking a crime, it's breaking a law. Whatever we want to do is breaking some goddamn law. Whatever we're trying to do. Because he controls all the land, makes all the rules, because he stole the shit. And we have let him get out of hand. And in 2018, he's being checked. Apartheid over with. He's being checked. White imperialism over with. Even during Trump's administration. Don't be no coward. The only time is now to stand up as a black man, to stand up as a black African and as an original entity. The only time to stand up is now. Don't let the Trump administration scare you. Don't be afraid. It's time that we claim what is ours. And if our African brothers on the continent got the heart to stand up and claim what is theirs, then you know we have no excuse in America. We have no excuse in the UK. We have no excuse in South America. We have no excuse in Japan, China, wherever you may find us. In the Caribbean islands, we have no excuse but to stand up and manifest and manufacture justice in the most justice situation for ourselves. The devil's rule is up. To me, that's what this signifies. That's what this symbolizes. The white man's rule is up. And this might be a small situation, a small victory, in a small circumstance in South Africa. But it's a big situation as far as the ripple effect and the consciousness transformative impact that this is going to have when these Africans get their land back. Because it's African, get your land back. It's black man, get your land back. Black man, take the land back era we in now. That's the season we in. That's the time that we in. Take our land back. Have some heart about yourself. Be fearless in this particular time that we live in today. The bigger the demon, the more fearlessness is required. The more boldness is required. The more bravery and courage is required to manifest and stand up for what we're supposed to be having in this time. So I have to speak on this. I can't wait till these South Africans get their land back. I cannot wait. It's a warning to the white people of South Africa. Get your ass out of town by sundown. Because there's not going to be no mercy shown to those who want to support a criminal, corrupt culture and enterprise. There will be no mercy. There should be no mercy shown to them. Because they have no compassion for our ancestors and our forefathers, and they won't confess or stand up or show any remorse for what they have done in the past, because they continue to feed and eat off of stolen merchandise, and they continue to regulate us and rule over us based on what their forefathers have done. If they really are sorry and they are reformed and they are a new people and they're not responsible for what the people before them have done, well, then get the fuck out of the black man's way. In every arena, in every area, in every category, get the fuck out of the black man's way. Some of them talking about, well, we provided all the services for black people and we made it a civilized South Africa, and thanks to what we're doing, South Africans are eating. Just because you handing out a few sandwiches do not justify the atrocities that you have committed. And if you want to undo the negative reality that was born from those atrocities, then take your sandwiches back and get out of town with your goddamn sandwiches. Get out of town with your goddamn health care. Get out of town with whatever the fuck you brought with you. Take it with you. Because our people need to heal from these atrocities, and we need to rebuild an independent and self-sufficient society that is not invaded or infringed upon by white people. So don't use the few services that you have provided and the few things that you have done to help promote civilization. Don't use that as an excuse to step over the tragedies that you have and the tragic wounds that you have afflicted on the ancestors and the collective consciousness of African people. Don't do that. Because we will never be an independent and self-sufficient ruling people again until we get your ass out the way. No matter what you've given, what you've set up, it doesn't matter. If we got to start from scratch, get your ass out of our way in every area. We don't need your fucking help. We don't need you in our fucking face no more. Get the fuck out of our way. If you're gonna help as a volunteer. Get nothing out of it. Get nothing out of it. Volunteer if you just want to be helpful. Don't take over our land and make up rules and regulations and try to govern over our shit like it's yours, talking about you helping us. Every white person need to get out of South Africa. Get out of town by sundown, goddammit. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate, don't hate.